Hey guys, pick it up today in Exodus 29. We're going to look at the first 3 verses. So let's read these together. He says, "This is the ceremony you must follow when you consecrate Aaron and his sons to serve me as priests." Now we'll stop right there for just a moment. So this ceremony was actually carried out in Leviticus chapter 8. So right now Moses is getting all these instructions. Remember, as we're reading all of this, Moses is up on the mountain with God, and God is giving him all of these instructions of what he is to do. He is on Mount Sinai getting all of this. And then he will come down and they will begin the process of implementing. So Leviticus 8 is where this is implemented. So not only were they given the instructions for the tabernacle, the altar, the fence around it, all of the instruments that would be used both inside and outside the tabernacle, their clothing. But then there was also the actual process of consecrating them. In other words, setting them apart for this official service. There was a ceremony that would happen. And this is talked a little bit more about in the rest of verse 1 and then 2 and 3. It says, "Take a young bull and 2 rams with no defects. Then, using choice wheat flour and no yeast, make loaves of bread, thin cakes mixed with olive oil and wafers spread with oil. Place them all in a single basket and present them at the entrance of the tabernacle along with the young bull and 2 rams." Okay, so the ceremony for consecration requires animals, and these animals are intended for sacrifice. And we're going to walk through this sacrifice. And it's very interesting because it paints a picture of where God is going. Not just what he's doing here, but there's a picture of the sins of Aaron and his sons being placed upon these sacrifices, which is exactly what Jesus was, right? The sacrificial system that was set up in the Old Testament is a forerunner of the perfect sacrificial system that Jesus would bring in, that he would be that final sacrifice that would set everything right. He was the perfection of this. So they also talk about bread here. They talk about unleavened bread, choice wheat flour with no yeast, making loaves of bread, thin cakes mixed with olive oil, and wafers spread with oil. So there was bread involved here. And remember, inside the tabernacle is actually the show table that had the bread of the presence. And this was representative of fellowship. Because in this culture, when you took a meal together, you were fellowshipping together. That was important. If you remember when Moses took some of the elders up onto Mount Sinai, they actually have a meal in the presence of God. That was part of that covenant and that consecration of that covenant. That was something that happened. You see that with Abraham going back. When he made a covenant in the book of Genesis, sometimes there was a meal was talked about along with that covenant. So this carried out that idea of fellowship and being set apart. So, see you later. You guys be blessed.